McLaren's recent triumph at the Miami Grand Prix has ignited more than just admiration from fans and media. It has triggered a wave of intrigue and scrutiny throughout the Formula One paddock. In a sport where technical innovation walks a fine line with regulatory compliance, McLaren's dominant 1-2 finish was a performance that couldn't be ignored. Before we start the video, please take the time to like the video and subscribe if you like our work. We're still a growing channel and we would appreciate it a lot. Thank you, and let's dive in to the video. The FIA, the governing body of the sport, responded quickly. Shortly after the checkered flag fell in Miami, McLaren's MCL39 became the subject of an unusually deep and detailed technical inspection. The car had not merely won, it had done so convincingly, pulling more than 30 seconds clear of the nearest competitor in conditions notorious for high track temperatures and severe tyre degradation. This kind of margin isn't just about driver skill or strategy, it's often about something more fundamental: the car's design. And in McLaren's case, the rear braking system drew particular attention. While post-race scrutineering is standard practice for all cars, each Grand Prix also sees one car from the top 10 finishers subjected to an even more exhaustive examination. In Miami, that car was the McLaren MCL39. The FIA's technical delegate Joe Bauer led a forensic-level inspection that zeroed in on the rear brakes, a component that, while not typically glamorous, is critical to overall car performance, especially when it comes to managing tyre temperatures. Why the brakes? Because in the high-stakes world of Formula One, controlling tyre temperatures can be the difference between victory and defeat. And this season, McLaren seems to have cracked a code that others have not. Rival teams are reportedly baffled by McLaren's ability to keep tyre temperatures in an optimal range, particularly in hot climates like Miami. Speculation quickly turned to the design of the rear brake ducts and drums, components that significantly affect the thermal profile of the car. Red Bull, McLaren's chief rival and reigning constructor champion, has reportedly taken their concerns a step further. According to German outlet Auto Motor und Sport, Red Bull supplied the FIA with thermal imaging data they claim shows McLaren's rear brakes operating at markedly cooler temperatures than those on other cars. This isn't a minor allegation, it's a pointed challenge, suggesting McLaren may be exploiting a grey area in the regulations. The FIA, for its part, has not accused McLaren of any wrongdoing. The inspection, while intense, has not resulted in any penalties or public reprimands. However, the mere fact that such an inspection took place, and that it focused so specifically on a system critical to race performance, has set the paddock abuzz. The McLaren team principal Andrea Stella responded not with defensiveness but with pride. Speaking to media after the race, Stella commended the engineers behind the MCL39 for their meticulous, holistic approach to car development. Whenever the conditions are challenging for the tyres, in terms of overheating in particular, then the car seems to be doing a good job of keeping the tyres in a very good window, he said. There's very good engineering behind this. Stella explained that the team didn't stumble upon this advantage by accident. Instead, they analysed every aspect of the car that could influence tyre behaviour. Cooling, weight distribution, aerodynamics, suspension geometry, nothing was left unexamined. And it's this systems-based approach that Stella believes has given McLaren the edge. He also pointed out that McLaren's bodywork is relatively closed, suggesting that the car's cooling performance isn't just about airflow. It's about efficiency. In other words, the car is managing to stay cool not by channeling more air through it, but by using that air more effectively. There's been great engineering into the cooling system layout, Stella added. In these conditions, we see that the excellence of engineering at McLaren has reached a point where it can make a difference. This kind of confidence from McLaren's leadership is a stark contrast to the mood at the team just a year ago. Struggling for form and battling reliability issues, few would have predicted such a dramatic turnaround. But under Stella's stewardship and CEO Zack Brown's strategic leadership, McLaren has climbed back into the elite ranks. And speaking of Zack Brown, his role in recent headlines wasn't just about celebrating a win. Brown revealed that some time ago he had reached out to Max Verstappen's manager, Raymond Vermeulen, to inquire about the reigning champion's future plans. The revelation sent shockwaves through the paddock. Was McLaren considering replacing one of its drivers? Was there internal doubt about Lando Norris or Oscar Piastri? Brown was quick to clarify, "It is my job to explore the market and to know what is going on," he told Dutch newspaper De Telegraaf. "I want to be able to estimate whether a possible stone may fall which can cause a domino effect, because that could rekindle interest in my driver. That's the reason I inquired." He emphasized that the call was made during negotiations for Piastri's contract extension, a time when having full knowledge of the driver market is not just strategic, but essential. Despite some pundits suggesting the inquiry implied dissatisfaction with McLaren's current lineup, Brown insisted it was merely due diligence. Verstappen, when asked, confirmed the contact but added a touch of humor. "Yes, but I think that didn't last long. When he knew how much he would have to pay, it was over immediately," the Dutchman quipped. Brown chuckled in return, saying, "Let me put it this way. During that phone call, I got the information I needed." With Norris and Piastri now secured on long-term deals and with a car capable of challenging for wins, McLaren appears to be set for the foreseeable future. But the implications of their Miami performance stretch far beyond a single race. Other teams are now playing catch-up, analysing not just McLaren's race strategy, but their entire technical philosophy. And this is where the FIA's role becomes critical. If McLaren's brake cooling system is indeed delivering a performance advantage, is it doing so within the letter and spirit of the rules? So far, the answer appears to be yes, but the scrutiny will only intensify, particularly if McLaren continues to dominate in hot weather races. As Formula One looks ahead to the European leg of the season, the storylines are becoming richer. Will McLaren sustain their momentum? Will Red Bull strike back? And will the FIA's investigations lead to new technical directives aimed at closing perceived loopholes? One thing is certain, McLaren is no longer a team on the rise, they have arrived, and with every race they're not just chasing wins, they're reshaping the competitive landscape of Formula One. Stay tuned as we continue to follow every development, from Woking, from the garages to the grid. Because in 2025, the fight for supremacy isn't just about speed, it's about who can outthink, out-engineer and outlast the competition.